By restoring movement patterns, people tend to get rid of pain. The side effect is you get stronger, you get faster, you breathe better, and you get better at every sport and probably your day job. Hello, this is Mark Wildman of Wildman Athletica, and today we're going to talk about two of the most important exercises in all of human history. We're going to focus on the reverse mill, but in order to do that, we will also talk about the mill. It doesn't matter what sport you play, it doesn't matter how old you are, humans have thumbs for a reason. It's so that we can hold on to levers, so that we can use them to either build civilization or defend civilization. There are core base movements. The mill and the reverse mill are core-based two-handed movements. When you think about throwing patterns, you can either throw something with one hand or you can throw something with two hands. They are two different paths of training. When you train with two hands, you're training more rotation with heavier weights. When you're training one hand, you're training less rotation with lighter weights, relatively. It's still heavy compared to almost anything else you've ever thrown. They are throwing patterns, but we are not going to let go of the club because we are taking heavy club swinging and we are turning it into endurance weightlifting. That means making our throwing patterns better for longer periods of time. We would like to make our throwing patterns better for a minimum of 5 to 10 minutes. If you have pain in your back, in your hip, in your shoulder, this exercise is for you. By restoring movement patterns, people tend to get rid of pain. The side effect is you get stronger, you get faster, you breathe better, and you get better at every sport and probably your day job. The reverse mill is the combination of two core exercises. The outside circle, where our top hand will move away from our center line, as opposed to an inside circle or an inside mill, where our top hand moves towards our center line. There are 4 rotations. Dominant hand towards the center line, dominant hand away from the center line, non-dominant hand towards the center line, non-dominant hand away from the center line. Most people are good at probably one of them. Dominant hand inside, because that's like throwing a baseball or a football. But think about boxing. You have a cross, which goes across your body frame, inside, and you have a jab, which moves away from your center line. We just want to be good at it with both sides. If you cannot rotate equally well both sides, just think of doing half of your daily exercises with the e-brake on one side of your body. You need to train to remove the e-brake so that your body moves freely so that you can do more of what you want. Step up to your club. 2 feet point straight ahead. We're not moving our feet with this exercise because our goal is to go up in weight, approaching 50 pounds. Step back, feet point straight ahead, 12 to 18 inches. 2 hands on the club. Swing it to order position. Order position means elbow on body. If your elbows are sticking out, you will notice this gets really hard, really fast. Elbows in, like you're holding a heavy load. Wrist flat, like you're throwing a punch. That means wrist flat, not bent as in a barbell wrist. When our wrist is bent, we do not close the top of our hand effectively. We're going to move away from our center line, defined by the top hand. Rotate, 4 coaching cues. Push, tip, swing, pull, catch. Come back to center. Push, swing, pull, catch. Rotate, push, swing, pull, catch. That is the outside circle. Now let's work on our rotating 180 pullover. We're gonna walk into that idea. The pullover goes straight back, straight forward, past the same side ear as the top hand. Straight back, thumb touches shirt, tricep extension, pull forward, elbow touches the body. It does not pass behind the body. Stop on the body. Straight back, touch shirt, pull forward. Now we're gonna rotate with that because rotation is base human movement. Without moving our feet, we're gonna start looking at the inside towards our center line, behind the head, rotate to the outside, pull over. Combine them, outside circle, push, swing, pull, catch. Behind the head, thumb touches shirt, rotate 180 degrees, pull over. Elbow starts and stops on the body. Push, swing, pull, catch. Behind the head, rotate, pull over, push, swing, pull, catch. Behind the head, rotate, pull over. When you are done, return to center. There are two sides to this exercise. You have to do dominant hand away from your center line and an equal number of non-dominant hand away from your center line. A lot of people get mixed up in this. Top hand is our defining hand. We use our top hand as our defining hand, just like sword fighting. If you do two-handed sword fighting, your top hand is the important hand. Your bottom hand can go away, but the top hand is the one that we're worried about. That's pretty consistent for all of human history, so we just use that simple idea. People who don't sword fight might say it differently. We say it this way because all of human history says it that way. Top hand, when we move away from our center line, think about our feet being pointed straight ahead, our hips moving 45 degrees. We're getting the movement from our ankles, our knees, and our hips. What we are not doing is drifting. Our hips are staying in the same spot as when we're standing up. We're rotating. That means this knee will drive forward without the heel lifting up. This leg does not straighten out. They're both still bent. Think of this like a deadlift family of movements. Deadlift, rotate. That is our setup. Tuck the tailbone underneath. Spine is vertical. Core is on. Push, elbow, lock. If one elbow is bent, you have not rotated your spine. Hips 45, spine 45. Lock out the elbows. Swing across. This is the side where people get messed up. They tend to stop rotating and they'll get a bent elbow. Both elbows locked out, pull in, come back to center, stand all the way up. Rotate, push to lock out, swing, elbows locked out, pull, come back to center. When we are doing our 180 pullover, elbow starts on the body. Dominant hand goes past same side ear. When we look at it from the back, you will see the thumb is actually physically on the shirt. As we rotate across, only then does it leave. Push, swing, pull, catch. Stabilize. Don't hit yourself in the face. Hitting yourself in the face with a weight is bad. Behind the head, thumb touches shirt, rotate 180 degrees, thumb is touching the neck, then pull over. Elbow touches body, it does not track behind the body. It stops on the body. Push, swing, pull, catch. Behind the head, rotate, pull over. Push, swing, pull, catch. Behind the head, rotate, pull over. Return to center. If you point your feet straight ahead, the heavier the weight, the harder the arches of your foot fire. Your ankles fire, your knees rotate, your hips do what they're supposed to do, your spine rotates the way it's supposed to. It is a total body, global, human exercise. If you can do this, then you are going in the right direction. If you cannot do this, things are going less well and you should figure out how to put it into your program at least twice a week until you get really good at it. Gentlemen tend to start with about 15 pounds and they build up towards 50 pounds. Think 15 pounds white belt, think 50 pounds brown belt. Above 50 pounds is black belt. So that usually takes several years. People go through a big program. Think of it like Olympic lifting. It is the target exercise. In Olympic lifting, you just don't start doing barbell snatches and try to do it with 300 pounds. You build your way up by doing all the component pieces and recording data. I don't care what program you do. If you write down data like an Olympic lifting program, then you will get what you want out of it. This should complement Olympic lifting. It should complement CrossFit. It should complement daily labor, roofer, farmer. It should complement ballet. It goes everywhere because this is what humans are meant to do.